One of the biggest moves, if not the biggest move this offseason for the NFL, was Tom Brady leaving the New England Patriots to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'm not going to say that it was surprising because a lot of people expected Tom Brady to leave New England, but it will definitely be very interesting to see how Tom Brady does and how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do with Tom Brady as their new quarterback. So in today's video, we'll talk about Tom Brady, we'll talk about the Buccaneers, and we will talk about how good they will be together. Let's get right into it. First, I want to talk about the Buccaneers and the situation that they have been in for the past couple seasons before acquiring Tom Brady this offseason. So they've been actually a really solid team for the past couple of years. They've had a very good defense and a lot of talented defensive players. They also have a very good offense and a lot of talented offensive players. So like I said, they've just been a solid team for the past couple of years. Unfortunately for the Buccaneers, however, they have been stuck with being just a solid team instead of a team that makes the playoffs and makes a deep playoff run, contends for a Super Bowl. So right now they are kind of stuck being just a solid team with some talented players. On the defensive side of the ball, I like a lot of the players that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have. They have guys like Shaq Barrett, who obviously led the league in sacks this past season, absolutely tore it up, absolutely had no trouble pressuring the quarterback. They also have Levante David, who's a very, very good linebacker, a veteran guy who brings a lot to the defensive side of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. And also, they added in Ndamukong Suh this offseason, which only strengthens their defense and makes them even better. And to go along with those three-star guys, they have a lot of other solid players too. On the offensive end, they have Mike Evans, who in my opinion is a top 5 wide receiver in the league. Very talented dude, very good hands, just all-around athlete, great receiver. Like I said, they also have Chris Godwin at the receiver position, an up-and-coming wide receiver, young guy who I think will be very good for them, and I think he's only going to be better this season than he was last season. O.J. Howard, their tight end, another very good pass catcher. They have a lot of weapons on the offensive end and on the defensive end. So like I said, I like a lot the roster that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have. Another thing to take note of is Bruce Arians, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach, who had a lot of success with the Arizona Cardinals. Before this, he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He knows the NFL. But despite having all these tools, despite having all the offensive players, all the defensive players, all the star players that they have, all of the talent that they have, the veteran head coach and Bruce Arians that they have, this past season they finished with a 7-9 record. Not acceptable for the amount of talent they have. A lot of these losses were close, so it very well, if things had gone their way, it very well could have been an 8-8, a 9-7 record, a 10-6 record instead, but they ended up finishing with a 7-9 record, and it left many fans wondering why they finished with this record because, like I've said multiple times, they have so much talent on this team. The only answer to this question, the simple cause of this problem, is just Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was the problem for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. His risky decisions, his bad decisions, really not even risky. A lot of them were risky, but a lot of them were just bad decisions, led to lots of turnovers, which led to, just like I said, many losses, many close losses that they shouldn't have lost. He didn't allow the offense to get or keep momentum once they had it. He didn't allow the defense to get off the field and get rested because of all of his turnovers. Dude had an insane amount of turnovers this season. I don't know the exact number, but I think it was like 32, 35, somewhere around there, which is a ridiculous amount of turnovers for a quarterback to have, and no team can have success when their quarterback is turning it over that much. Like I said, didn't allow the offense to get into a groove, and all of these turnovers led to the defense being on the field a lot more than they should have been. And the sad part is that Jameis Winston isn't even a bad player. He's a very talented guy. I think he has a big arm. I think he showed a lot in college what he could do. Unfortunately, that just hasn't translated to the NFL. His talent hasn't really been able to make up for his bad decision making. Like I said before, it hasn't been able to make up for his immaturity. He just hasn't really developed in the way that I think the Buccaneers hoped he would. And after bringing Bruce Arians in, even Bruce Arians couldn't fix it. So in my opinion, it was the right decision for the Buccaneers to move on from Jameis Winston, and who better to bring in for him than Tom Brady. Tom Brady has almost the exact opposite style of Jameis Winston, being that he doesn't take any risks and he doesn't try to do too much. Jameis Winston would oftentimes try to make the home run play. He would try to do too much. He would try to be the hero. Tom Brady ends up being the hero because he just always makes the right play, takes very few risks, never really gets too high or too low. We all know who Tom Brady is. He's the exact opposite of Jameis Winston, and I think that he is exactly what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need. He always makes the right play. Like I said before, he never tries to do too much, and in my opinion, Tom Brady will run a much more consistent offense for the Buccaneers, which will allow their star receivers in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and O.J. Howard. It will allow them to thrive. It will allow them to get into more of a groove. It will allow his offensive line to get into a groove. It will allow their running back to get into a groove. Tom Brady running the offense will just be much more smooth, much more efficient for the offense. And like I said before, Jameis Winston's turnovers had such an effect on the defense being on the field so much they never got to rest. Tom Brady will take up so much time. The time of possession for the Buccaneers will increase by a ton, in my opinion, and it will allow the defense to do better as well. In my opinion, Tom Brady will turn this team from being the solid team that they have been, from being just that average, middle-of-the-pack team, to being a playoff contender. And I'm not sure that they are good enough to win the Super Bowl. I don't think that Tom Brady is at the level right now. He's kind of getting older. We all know he's gotten older. I'm not sure that he's at the level to get them to a Super Bowl, but you never know, and I think that he will for sure be able to get them to the playoffs. And once they get to the playoffs, you never know, he could end up winning a Super Bowl with this team. In my opinion, they have the talent, they have the guys that they need, and Tom Brady will be that difference maker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers, how good you think they will be, how good you think he will be, what will happen to Jameis Winston. Just let me know all of that in the comment section down below, and remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one.